As we get to the end of November, attention is now turning towards longer term beet storage, and we're here today to look at some of the best practice associated with harvesting and long term storage. Good storage starts with good harvesting, and part of the harvesting process is to remove dirt from the beet. It's important that the harvester doesn't clean the beet too aggressively. Excessive cleaning of the sugar beet will damage and break off the tap roots. That's a direct loss of yield, but it also leaves a scar which is open for bacterial infection, and that can lead to poorer storage. The BBRO has done extensive trials looking at how well whole beets store compared to the more conventionally scalped beet. The question was asked, would these beets store as well, or is there a greater potential for regrowth in the clamp? The fact that there's a smaller harvest scar to heal means that respiration rates are lower with whole beet than they are with conventionally scalped beet. For that reason, there's no need to top beet any harder if it's destined for long-term storage. The clamp should be located in an area with good airflow, good ventilation and good drainage, with good access in and out for both trailers and lorries, and away from overhead power lines. Ideally, for a conventional clamp, we'd be looking at a concrete base, certainly a hard standing base, and something that is well drained. If there are areas of the base which have puddles laying in them, those puddles will be full of water when there's sugar beet in the store as well, which will lead to root deterioration. The use of pallets underneath bales alongside the clamp is really important in that it allows air into the clamp, preventing a build-up of heat in the centre of the clamp. We've done a lot of trials to determine the optimum size and shape of clamps, and those have shown that building a wall alongside the clamp just one bale high is preferable to one that's 2 bales high. This does mean you can't fit quite as much beet in the clamp, but the airflow characteristics associated with just a single bale mean that the beet stores much better in that type of a clamp. It's important when the trailers tip that the wheels stop just short of the beet and don't run on any beet, and that the trailer tips up slowly, beet onto beet, rather than dropping beet down onto concrete. This minimises breakage, and that in turn reduces sugar loss. When building a clamp, it's best to take a basket full of beet and to fill from the top of the clamp down as opposed to pushing from the bottom of the clamp up. This keeps the clamp nice and loose and gives optimum airflow. Always use a beet basket as opposed to a grain bucket, and make sure that the tip of the bucket is right on the ground and slicing under the beet as opposed to through beet. Another important element of beet storage is making sure that the beet is protected from frost. It's important to ensure there's a level top to the clamp. This avoids there being frost pockets where frost can sit in hollows and to cause beet to deteriorate. In times of frost, beet needs protection, and beet should always be covered with a sheet where temperatures are forecast to be below -3 degrees centigrade. Top-Tex is the preferred sheet for this. It's breathable, it sticks well to the beet, and it's relatively easy to handle. It's equally as important to make sure that the clamp sheets are removed once the frost risk has passed. In very exposed locations, when strong northerly and easterly winds are forecast, it's important to block the pallet gaps under the bales to prevent the ingress of cold air which could freeze the beet inside the clamp. Every year we focus on protecting sugar beet from frost. In reality, we probably lose more sugar in clamp through overheating than we ever do through frost damage. Sugar loss in clamp is accelerated by higher temperatures, and it's really useful to be able to monitor the temperature in the heart of a clamp. A simple way of doing this is to knock in a piece of inch water pipe and hang a garden thermometer down it and compare the temperature in the heart of the clamp with ambient. If the temperature difference is between 5 and 10 degrees, it's an indication that things are starting to happen and that respiration rates are picking up. If the temperature difference is greater than 10 degrees, the clamp can get into a heating cycle where the rate of respiration increases such that it produces more heat, which drives respiration, which produces more heat, which drives respiration, and the risk here is that the beet will completely break down. We've done all the hard work in growing an excellent crop of sugar beet. It's important that we have good attention to detail at this stage of the season just to make sure we recover as much of that yield as possible.